guys, welcome to Broad Street to Britain with me, Dave Shaw, and we are live on YouTube and Twitter as well. And if you're not listening or watching live and listening to the playback, then hey guys, I hope you're good. We have a lot to talk about right now. It's 10 days away from the trade deadline. I need it here now. I need to know where we are, what direction we're going in, and what is going to play out for the Phils. I need to know what Dave Dombrowski is going to do. But we'll dive straight into that, as well as that Angels series that we've just had. Pitching offensive streakiness, pitching streakiness. The team is streaky again right now, playing 500 baseball. We will dive into that, as well as trade headline and look ahead to the Yankees and Red Sox series this week. But I am joined by Richard Skinner and Alex Carr. First of all, Richard, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well, thank you. I'm just promoting this little live thing on the WhatsApp, as just making sure that checking you hadn't done that already. But I'm doing well.
No, I haven't.
I'm doing well.
I've actually missed 30-second link countdown. I've missed it all up, mate.
I've missed some baseball recently with the West Coast trips and stuff. So caught a few less games live, but I've not missed too much from the looks of it. But I'm doing well, Dave.
Good. Yeah, last time we spoke was about that trip to Philly, and
yeah, and that's not even gone out yet, I don't think.
take me back.
I thought you just fell over.
I'm gonna have to hold this. This is going so well. And Alex, it's been a while. It's been a while, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing great. I just got back from vacation. I'm nice and relaxed.
Oh, where'd you go?
I went to an island off the coast of North Carolina, called Ocracoke, and it was lovely.
Sounds exotic.
It was fantastic. I was very relaxed and chilling out for a little bit. And Phillies baseball couldn't get me down, but of course I did. The best part to kick off my vacation, the draft happened, which was amazing. That's my favorite thing to possibly look at, as there's a bee in my room, which is crazy. That's my favorite thing. No, it was really it was so much fun, and I had a great vacation. So now I'm ready for the stretch, ready for what is sure to be a crazy July.
Yes. And guys, I can see questions coming in already. If you are watching along, get involved. Let's have your opinions. Let's have your questions as we dive into this next frantic 10 days of June, going into July, going into August, September, Red October. The run to Red October begins now. We will get straight to that question in a second. That is all to come. First of all, any other business? We need to get this out the way, first of all. If you're in the UK, if you are near London, this weekend, this Sunday, we will be having our first PSI UK Phillies watch along at Passy Waterloo for the third game against the Yankees. Hopefully, we'll be the decide. Hey, sweep it. Why not? I'm way too optimistic. But it's gonna be a great day. We've got a lot of people turning up. Richard, are you coming? You're not coming, are you?
I don't know yet. Is the answer. Maybe. I'm going to try and figure it out tomorrow. As it stands, no, but it won't take much to convince me. It just depends on trains and stuff. But
well,
it's all boring. No one cares about that.
You know,
I know.
Crab fries,
those tater tots at Passy Young, by the way.
We've got a home run competition going on to win a Phillies jersey as well. If you're in the area, fancy yourself winning a Phillies jersey, home run batting cage. We're also giving away a London Series Phillies cap. And some other giveaways and competitions, as well as the Phillies v. the Yankees. Well, hopefully, in a week's time, we have turned our form around. Who knows with this team? Let's get into it. By the way, that's from 5 o'clock on Sunday at Passy Waterloo. Yes, questions coming in. Love this. We will get to it very, very shortly. We will get all your questions answered. This is what I love. First of all, let's go into the Angels series. First of all, Angels. Fun team. I was not expecting that from the Angels. I naively had only looked at their record and thought, oh, they're struggling. Then in game one, like the first inning, T-Mac was going, they're 500 with a new manager in charge at the moment, a team on the up. I'm like, yeah, okay, but we still should have enough to put them aside. We didn't. It was not a good series for the Phils whatsoever. Angels fun team. We'll get into Taylor Ward and Odell, Soler, and have all three of them on the Phillies right now. 2-1 loss in the first game, 6-5 loss in the first game. that big 9-5 win in game 2, 8-2 yesterday. Alex, the pitching, oh man, like Luzardo's the flip of a coin. It's you're gonna get good Luzardo, that Luzardo we saw in game 1, or a bit of both at the same time. You just don't know with Jesus. Walker did his job. I thought Walker is doing what we need Walker to do. He's keeping us in games. I know he allowed 3 earned runs, but he's our 5th back-end rotation starter. He's sort of giving us what we need, really. He's doing okay. He's not the problem. And Ranger Suarez, oh man, I don't know with Ranger, and I'm not sure because we've seen this before from Ranger Suarez, and it doesn't end too well. And I really hope this is not declining into Ranger sort of unraveling a little bit as the season goes on. He looked tired yesterday. His command was nowhere. Hey, what did you make of that pitching over the weekend?
Yesterday was not Ranger Suarez's fault. As rough as he seemed around the edges, I mean, there was a rain delay, which is always going to make for some shenanigans, and then he was just getting eternally squeezed. I don't care what it looked like on the mound. The result behind home plate yesterday was just catastrophic. That was one of the worst zones we've seen all year. It's why the ABS needs to be a thing. I mean, that one blown call to Mike Trout, that's who Ranger Suarez is. Ranger Suarez is nipping at the corners. That's who he is. He has pinpoint command most of the time and will, nip away at hitters, and he wasn't getting any calls. And you just can't be effective if you are Ranger Suarez and you're facing that kind of zone behind the plate. There's no possible way. So I don't think that was Rangers' fault. And I also think it's way too early to be claiming any sort of, mid-season decline for him. The only reason for that last season was because he's never pitched a full season before. He had never, started a season properly. He always had visa issues, or he was hurt, or this or that or the other. So I think Rangers going to be fine. There's literally nothing to worry about. 2 weeks ago, people were, griping about how he was snubbed for the All-Star game. It's not a problem. As far as Taijuan Walker goes, I don't know why he was ever moved out of this position. He should have just been the 5th starter. The Phillies should have been showcasing him forever and ever and ever in attempts to get rid of him in the trade deadline. I hate speaking about players like this, but there's just no fit for him on this roster at the moment. And it is just, I think it was such a mistake, even though Mick Abel was wonderful for a few games and has been proven time and time again in AAA. He's ready. Taijuan Walker just should have been in this spot. He should have been, a chess piece at the deadline. And unfortunately, now he's once again probably going to be stuck here. But yeah, he gave the Phillies what they needed, I suppose. I don't think he was great. I don't think he was good, but he's fine, which is what you're going to get out of him.
Yeah.
And then with Jesus, again, same thing as with Ranger last season, right? Jesus hasn't pitched more than 88 innings, 123 innings in a season. I'll get the numbers in front of me now, but he hasn't pitched more than 178 in 2023. Then he got hurt in 24. So I mean, this is a guy that has not thrown very many innings in his career. And that's a great thing for the Phillies because he's low mileage, but that also means there's going to be some growing pains when it comes to, stretching him over a full season. And I think that's kind of what we're witnessing here. Once again, when he's on, he's fantastic. You don't really need to worry about the inconsistency. I will beat this drum till the day that I die. But regular season baseball really doesn't matter all that much. There are 162 games. This is a guy that is probably going to be in your playoff bullpen. Right, he's not going to be starting a pivotal game 7. He might be. I shouldn't say that, but he could start a pivotal game 7. He probably won't be. He will be in the bullpen for the majority of your playoff run. So it's not really something that you have to worry about just yet. But yeah, this is the best pitching staff in baseball. It just is. So we can gripe all we want about guys like Ranger having a bad day or Jesus Luzardo being inconsistent, but you're not going to find a better rotation in baseball than the one that the Phillies have. So.
True, Richard. What was your thoughts on the weekend and the overall? That we should be beating teams like Angels at home.
Absolutely.
And it's disappointing because you had that big build up to game 1, the All-Star, Kyle Schwarber coming back MVP, the All-Star build-up, and then the momentum from game 2, you would hope would carry on to game 3. And again, we fall flat. We just can't get momentum. What were your feelings in the weekend?
I'm going to get into it. So we've played maybe, I think 99 games, is it now? I'd say I've watched maybe 89, 90 of them in full. I didn't catch much of this weekend. I had a lot of stuff on. I've seen the highlights. I saw the Schwarbaum. I'd be remiss to try and pretend I knew what I was talking about this weekend. Obviously, results are disappointing. The Schwarbaum was great. Harper's looking better, which is a positive.
Yep.
So yeah, that's my thoughts. But yeah, we should be beating the Angels.
We should.
But I'm not worried. As ever, I'm not worried.
I don't want to be, but it's just frustrating. I'm so frustrated. But the Angels were very aggressive. Like they were just swinging, free swinging at everything. No discipline, but it was working for them. They were getting to us.
I will take responsibility for the first game because I benched Taylor Ward in fantasy. So that was
future Philly Taylor Ward. I hope. Oh, Alex is going to get it. All right, Alex, we'll wait.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it. But yeah, Kyle and Bryce, if those two can stay hot, because we need them, because there's not a lot behind. This series showed that we need more behind Kyle and Bryce. Trey's on a bit of a slump, but nothing major, nothing as bad as we have seen from Trey. Just a little bit slow. And then
snubbed All-Star Trey Turner.
Snubbed All, yeah, maybe that's why he's got a hump on his back. I don't know, but Casty is cold, pretty cold right now. Bone injury is a bit of a downer. JT's heating up, but then behind that, Marsh, yeah, doing all right, but we need more. It's crunch time now. We need more, and we need that. It just shows again, we need that big bat behind Bryce and Kyle. Let's go on to the Angels quickly because they have players that are linked with the Phils, and we'll link it into the trade deadline. Tyler Ward. This guy put on a showcase. Like, Alex, do you see this happening? Because he's what, 31, 32? Mm-hmm. He's having an incredible season. He is, for me, a difference maker. Like, I don't want Merrifields and David Dahls and Max Keplers. I want a difference maker. I want us to put the chips in for a guy who's going to make a big difference. Ward, for me, and possibly Odell, could bring that for me. And I don't think it's going to cost much.
Oh,
do you reckon? Or the Angels? It's the Angels. They're such a poorly run organization. Who knows?
First things first. Whenever you're trading with the Angels, yeah, they are a really weirdly run organization. So you never really know what you're going to get. But most of the time, I mean, last year, everyone thought they'd sell guys like Taylor Ward. They didn't. Taylor Ward still has an extra year of control. He is a controllable, position player. He's going to cost you a little bit more than a rental position player. But more than that, in my opinion, the Phillies don't need a corner outfielder. The Phillies need a center fielder because Brandon Marsh has been dreadful in center field. He has been just awful. And as much as I would like to say that's not the real Brandon Marsh in center field, I really don't care anymore because the Phillies need a good defensive center fielder that can do something at the plate. And Brandon Marsh is a Gold Glove caliber left fielder when he plays there every day. He almost won one and he played like 70 games at the position. He was that good. So he's a Gold Glove caliber fielder in left field and should easily be starting over Max Kepler. I don't even want to get into that right now, but there's literally no reason Max Kepler should see, they didn't pinch hit Johan Rojas for him in game 3 of this, or no, game 2 of this series. That tells you everything you need to know about the Phillies' confidence in Max Kepler.
And there's a guy who's clocked out right now. It's Max Kepler. He looks gone. Like he doesn't look. He just. And when Schwarber hit that grand slam, the only person sitting on the bench not to get up and congratulate him was Max Kepler.
I don't know what to say.
I thought it was quite telling.
I don't really know.
Checked out.
I'm not going to look too far into it, but I do think that it would behoove at this point. It does feel like there's really no way that you can make this work. It would probably behoove the Phillies to keep him post deadline and have him be some kind of bench role player, but I just don't think it's going to be there. I think he needs a change of scenery. I just don't think I don't think he's enjoying his time. I don't know. I can't speak for him. I don't know anything about him, but it feels that way. And I wouldn't be either if I were playing as poorly as he is right now. So, but the Phillies need a center fielder. That's what they need. And Taylor Ward is not that. Taylor Ward is also not a platoon bat. Taylor Ward is a guy that you would play virtually every day, especially when he has an extra year of control. And if Brandon Marsh is playing in left field for you, there's really no way to do that. They're looking more for a guy that has good right-handed splits, or splits against left-handed pitching, I should say, rather than a guy that's going to play every day. As far as Jo Adell goes, Jo Adell has been awful in center field for the Angels. So you're looking at two corner outfielders there that really don't feel, in my opinion, don't feel like a fit. Now, I don't know if Dave Dombrowski is going to say, oops all bats and forego any kind of defensive upgrade. But for me, the offensive market is slim pickings anyway. It is really hard to find a good upgrade that is not named Eugenio Suarez, and there's no possible way the Phillies are moving Bryce Harper back to the outfield. Like that just sounds
agreed. Can't happen.
From every single quote that has ever been given from a front office person in the Phillies brass, it sounds like they don't want to move Bryce Harper back to the outfield. And who can blame them? Because everyone knows what kind of player Bryce Harper is. He will sell his body for a catch. And that's just not what the Phillies, they can't have him getting hurt. They just can't. So it feels to me like we're going to primarily see a center fielder be the acquisition here. And we can talk about guys that are fits for that later on down the line. But for me, the corner outfielders, the Stephen Kwans, the Taylor Wards, the Jo Adells, they just don't make sense. It doesn't seem like a fit. And it also doesn't seem like the real answer to the Phillies issue. The Phillies have like 6 guys with sub 20 strikeout percentages this season.
Yeah.
Like they don't need guys that aren't going to strike out. They need guys that are going to hit. They need guys that are going to drive in runs. And that is what they should primarily be looking for here.
Also, players who are not good defensive in positions. Otto Kemp.
They certainly don't need that.
Otto Kemp at third needs to end pretty quickly. That's rough. Yesterday,
I think we had this issue last year when Bone was injured towards the end of the year. No one else can play third base.
That was
Edmundo Sosa.
It was horrible at the end of last year.
He can,
but not to the level of Bowman, I don't think.
Wow, I never thought I'd hear that. Not to the level of Alex Bohm.
Bone's been good at third this year, I think. Yeah.
Everybody loves to say that he's not. Everybody loves to say he's not, but he is.
Would we? Are we in a position? We'll get to the trade talks again very quickly, but it just comes to my mind. Would we? Is it worth putting Kemp at second base now? And maybe put Stopback options AAA for a bit. It worked. 2022? Did Stock go down? It helped him out then. Was it 21 or 22? One of those 2 years he went down. It helped him out then. Is it worth giving Kemp a crack at second base?
It's worthwhile to look at. He's not. I've said this so many times at this point, but that's the real reason that Otto Kemp is, not some kind of top prospect. He not only was he an undrafted free agent and things like that, but he's not a top prospect because he doesn't play a position particularly well. And that's really difficult. Like if you don't have a place to put a guy on the diamond, how is he going to get regular at bats? And the answer is it's hard to squeeze him in there without sacrificing some level of defense. The problem is if you put Otto Kemp at second now, a position that he's hardly played. He's definitely played it before, but hardly. You put him at second base now. I mean, up the middle is one of the most important positions in all of baseball, right? You got your shortstop, you got your second base, you got center field, you got your catcher. Well, you're not going to get gold glove defense like you get from Bryson Stott. And that is dangerous. So there's no answer to that problem that is readily available right now outside of Edmundo Sosa at second base, which I think is a very fair thing to do. I think you at this point you should be
Yep.
in a platoon scenario with Edmundo Sosa and Bryson Stott.
Both of you quickly, this platooning business, I'm kind of done with it. I think Kepler shouldn't be in this team right now. I don't. A lineup would be due any moment. Actually, I'll be interested.
It's already out.
It's already in.
Oh, it's already in. Is Kepler in?
I can tell you.
I saw it and forgot immediately.
I did too. Let me
it's
tell you.
Walker Buehler tonight as well. I'd really hope we can get to what he's not having a good year at all.
No, he is not. Kepler is in the lineup playing left field.
No.
No, I agree on the platooning thing, and I agree on everything Alex said about Brandon Marsh. It's no secret that I've not been the biggest Brandon Marsh fan. I think he's sorted it out. He's not doing great. He's doing fine. He's not a center fielder. So many times in a game, like you'll see a ball hit, and it's just he's not getting there, or he'll drop in, or he'll misplay it. And I'm a Rojas fan. I'm not calling for him to bat, but it's plays where you think Rojas would make that. I think Rojas's bat has been poor enough that he doesn't warrant playing every day. But Marsh isn't a center fielder either. So I think absolutely, center field's somewhere we need to look. I don't think Crawford's the guy. As we've said before, his ground ball rate's still too high. I just don't think he's ready. So yeah, I'm done with the platooning.
Unfortunately, the only rebuttal that I have to that is, platooning is kind of the direction that baseball is taking these days, which is really, it's not the greatest thing in the world. It does not make for the most fun fan experience, but it is a very, it's strategically, it's something that you do. That being said, Brandon Marsh has been actually quite good. Since he was recalled, obviously terrible start to the season, but since he was recalled from AAA after his injury, he's been fantastic. He's hitting over 300. Yep. He's slugging for decent numbers. He's still hitting the ball really, really hard. Brandon Marsh looks like the guy that you expect him to be. Unfortunately, it feels like Bryson Stott was sacrificed for that to become a thing.
Yeah. That's how it feels, doesn't it? One gets hot, the other slumps. It's just we can't get this lineup clicking at the same time. Sosa gets hot, and then another one goes cold. Bohm starts to heat up, and then Casty goes cold. JT now heats up, and nobody around the lineup can heat up with him. Like Marsh. And I think that's been part of the problem. Getting guys on base has not been a problem. It's driving them in, and there's the frustrating thing that. Again, JT gets hot. He's getting on base quite a lot, hitting a lot of doubles. But then there's no one behind him who can bring him in. And apart from Trey, Kyle, Bryce, it's so frustrating right now. We just need this lineup to start clicking at the same time. Let's get into some of these questions as well. Guys, if you're watching, let's have your opinions. Let's have your questions. The first one was from Kami. If the Phillies go after Duran, who do they give up? Now, I'll look at Duran's stats. They didn't really blow me away. I don't know. Is Duran the answer? He's not a difference maker. He's not great, obviously, but is it enough? Like, I want the Phils to sort of go a bit more bigger than that.
He was like almost an AL MVP winner last year. So, I mean, he's shown, he's got pedigree. He's shown, at times he can be elite. The book is kind of out on him in defensively. Outs above average hates him. Defensive run saves loves him. So it's a little bit of kind of like a wash in center field this year. He's been probably about average. What you really get with Jarren Duran is great speed. He is a free swinger. He is pretty power light. And he is a left-handed hitter. For me, based on what it would cost you and what you would have to kind of give up, and based on where he would hit in the lineup, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Once again, I know I just said the Phillies are looking for a center fielder, but Duran is like, he's a little bit more of the same of what the Phillies already have.
Yeah.
He's not exactly the guy that you look at and you say, okay, now drive in some runs. He's the guy that you look at and you say, okay, if he gets on base, he's getting a second, maybe he'll come around to score. And the Phillies kind of already have that in Trey Turner. So that role is kind of filled. It doesn't really feel like he does much that the Phillies don't already have. And he's a left-handed hitter. The Phillies really need a right-handed hitter that hits lefties well. That is really what they are sorely, sorely missing. And they're missing it on the bench, and they're missing it in the everyday lineup. It's a real hole that and granted, they are the only reason the Phillies, I think I looked a couple of weeks ago, the Phillies are actually hitting righties worse on the year than they are hitting lefties. But that is solely because, number one, you see way more righties. And number two, Kyle Schwarber.
Yes, it's Schwarber.
Kyle Schwarber inflates those numbers beyond anything. I mean, if you took Kyle Schwarber out of that equation, it would be a really sad stat line. And I'm too lazy to go through and do it.
Yeah, let's not do it. It's too depressing.
It's hilarious when they bring on a left-handed reliever. They swap him out when Schwarber's up to bat, and he just hits the Schwarber anyway every time.
But it's the thing that the Phillies desperately need is somebody that is going to hit left-handed pitching well in the everyday lineup, and that is not what Jarren Duran would be. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But if they were to trade for him, you are looking at parting with, at the very least, an Aiden Miller type.
What would you say if there was a right-handed hitter? Dave, you're not allowed to answer this because you know the answer. Who is batting 289 and has an OPS plus of 134 that the Phillies could have?
I know this.
He's a right-handed hitter. Well, we're just on the stats. I know
289 and what was it?
134 OPS plus.
Against lefties or in general?
Just overall.
Overall.
Only ground into 5 double plays on the year.
That can be had on the market currently?
Yeah, let's say yeah.
I'm stumped.
Whoa.
Austin Hayes.
Oh,
sure.
Yeah, Austin Hayes.
Again, I will beat this drum until the cows come home. They acquired the right guy last year. It just he got sick and then was hurt for a little bit and didn't have enough time to really make an impact. But they acquired the right guy. I really liked that trade at the time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he didn't show anything to where he
was
enough to hang on to him. So
I don't think any of us at the time were disappointed that he wasn't being brought back.
Yeah,
it's just painful. But
But
you also look at
it was
in
the
the
right
offseason.
profile. That's the thing. And at Great American Ballpark, it's a very similar idea in that it's a shorter right field fence and a short left field fence. It's a good place for his kind of swing, and he's doing a great job over there.
And then the offseason as well, obviously the Cubs were trying to, obviously there's no chance they'd get rid of him now. The Cubs were trying to shop Suzuki out there apparently. Look at the season he's had.
Yep. Well, he's been a peripheral darling. That's been like baseball's worst kept secret for ages. But they definitely weren't shopping him. It's more that he's not a great outfielder, so they were looking for a way to, get him in the DH spot or
who's
something.
the answer then? Because is there any best of both out there in the market then?
There are two.
Who are we going to prize away?
Number one is the oft maligned Luis Robert Jr., who I just wrote a huge piece about.
He was excellent, by the way. I shared that on the group before. Really good.
Well, it's going to Robert because I read Richard. You shared the article that Alex wrote. I read it. You know what? I'm sold. I'm also nervous that someone at the Mets pick him up, and he does that. He does that for the Mets.
Oh, that's where the smoke is going to be, and I guarantee you, if the Phillies do not pull the trigger there, the Mets will, because David Stearns is smart, and David Stearns knows exactly what I wrote about, which is number one, what you have to take into account here. This is not how baseball works, right? But it also kind of is. If you look at every player that played for the White Sox last year that this year is on a new team, Gavin Sheets, Andrew Vaughn, Yoan Moncada, each of them, Gavin Sheets could have been an all-star this year.
Padres,
Gavin
right?
Sheets has been spectacular for the Padres. He has been excellent. Andrew Vaughn, in 8 games with the Brewers, has quintupled his production that he gave to the White Sox in 8 games. 8 games. Yoan Moncada is about to get the Angels a great deal at the trade deadline.
And
he's only played 37 games this year, but he looks in the middle of a career revival. So it's the Reinsdorf curse. But more than that, Robert Jr. has no protection in that lineup. He's still playing defensively brilliantly. He's still in the 94th percentile of, bat speed. Over his last, I have it in front of me, so I'll just put it out there. But over his last, I think it was like 25 games, he's hitting 267, 353, 507. He's hitting against lefties. He's hitting 301, 376, 519 in his career. In 514 plate appearances, he's hitting 301 with a 519 slug against left-handed pitching. It feels like a no-brainer. I understand, I don't know what his attitude is like or anything like that. I understand if there are clubhouse concerns, in terms of like how it will affect the feng shui. At this point, I don't care. I think that, the Phillies are past the point of, wanting to keep this great vibe team. They have a strong leader in the clubhouse. I am sure that everything will be fine.
If anything.
They have a couple. And I'm sure that Luis Robert Jr. wants to win as much as anybody does. This
is it for me. You take him out of an environment where he's playing in front of like 5,000 people to a 45,000 packed Citizens Bank Park. The energy alone when you're there is electric.
Where also his swing will play incredibly well and won't be. I know this sounds ridiculous, but it's so true. Wrigley is known for this. Wrigley is known for having insane winds that really affect a lot of players' power potential. It's not like the South Side is any different.
Yeah,
Chicago is not the easiest place to hit. And so bringing him to Philadelphia in the summer and then into the fall, where his power will play better, his swing will play better. He's playing brilliant. Like the thing that I wrote in the piece was, it feels like a lateral move with Johan Rojas, but that's just the thing. At least you're comfortable sending Robert Jr. to the plate in the postseason. You are not comfortable. Johan Rojas should not see a sniff of postseason baseball right now. I love the guy. I love him. He should not taste it within a 20-mile radius. Like he's just not ready. He's not. And he needs to go back down to AAA. He needs to take a moment, iron out the offense a little bit. I would honestly hazard a guess that if they do trade for Luis Robert Jr., Johan Rojas will be the guy the White Sox ask about. I have a feeling that would be the case. And
you would do it in a heartbeat, though, wouldn't you? If he was involved in a trade, and who else?
It would be hard for me, but that would be it. No. Luis Robert Jr. Well, the White Sox will be hard pressed to get a top 15 system prospect. If they pay down his entire deal, maybe they get a little bit more. He has been so bad this season, and he was so bad last year. There is no reason for anybody to pony up. The only thing that's going to drive his value up is the teams that are competing to trade for him. And it will just come down to who can offer the more tantalizing prospect for this player. It is not going to take some huge package. It's not going to take, the Aiden Miller, the Andrew Painter that it was rumored to take a year ago, right? This is a completely different player, and he's owed a insignificant amount of money this year. He's owed $15 million, which will prorate to $5 million or so, which is not insignificant for a deadline acquisition. And then he's got a team option next year that you will have to buy him out of if you don't want to exercise it. It's a $20 million team option. Nobody's picking that up. No matter how, unless he is ballistically good in the second half, there's no way.
Robert is one of those players that I just feel that if he gets on any sort of sniff and run of how he used to be, especially in front of a packed Citizens Bank Park, this guy could be electric. This could be a game changer.
Which is why you do it.
I'd love to see him. I'd love to see him.
You pull the trigger. Like he's the guy I want, and I'm excited about more than any others. Like you said, put Marsh back into left field, and let's just leave it. Let's just Robert, Marsh, Casty. That's it. Leave it. Stop this platooning. That's the outfield. Let the guys get regular bats.
Unfortunately, I feel like that's not going to be what the Phillies do.
Oh, no,
and I do feel, and to answer Volcano Bones in the chat, it is a big if, but it has happened 3 separate times this season. 3 separate times that players have left the White Sox and they've just blossomed, right? So it doesn't seem entirely coincidental. That lineup is terrible. He has no protection. And worst case, he is playing better center field than anybody else you have on the roster that's not named Johan Rojas. And Johan Rojas should not be lining up at the plate right now. He just shouldn't be.
Yeah, if we had a designated fielder, like we've got a designated hitter, you'd have Rojas. But
or if he could execute fundamentals that were asked of him. He is not bunting successfully. He is not, he barely even swipes bags these days. I mean, he barely gets on, but he barely swipes bags when he gets on. Just because the situation doesn't necessarily call for it. That's another thing. Robert Jr. is top 10 in the league in steals, which I'm sure would play very well with Trey Turner, who is also top 10 in the league in steals. And the best part is it lengthens your lineup in a huge way. I mean, Alec Boehm is probably going to hit 4th on this team going into the playoffs. Nick Castellanos will hit 5th. If you have Luis Robert Jr. hitting, 7th behind JT Realmuto, that's kind of fun, right? As opposed to, and it's a lot more power. Yeah, but then you also have that platoon ability, right? So, and you can mix and match in whatever way you'd like to, but it really, that one makes the most sense to me based on what the Phillies need. Unfortunately, I think they will probably go out and get Harrison Bader from the Minnesota Twins, primarily because he's in the middle of a career season offensively. He's doing really well. He is definitely still an elite center field glove. He's probably a better defender than Luis Robert. If I'm being completely objective,
but I want the bats.
Right, but he's got a 115 WRC plus right now, which is pretty good. He's hitting for some decent power. He's doing okay, and he's a pure rental. You will not have to give up very much for a guy like him. That is just, I feel like the Robert Jr. swing is one that, for whatever reason, the Phillies won't want to take. I pray that I am wrong.
If he becomes a Met, I can't.
But he will become a Met. If he is not a Philly, he will become a Met. I can put that in ink.
I'm so nervous about this trade deadline. It's all I can think about. It's all my mind is on is the end of the month, and we need to do a live show because I need instant reaction.
I'll be busy.
I'll be there
because we need both. And for me, it's all or nothing. Let's not give away big prospects for bullpen arms if we're not going to also fix the bats. Because me, that's half the problem. We've got to put it together. This league, both American and National League, are wide open. There's nobody really looks like odds-on favorites to win it right now. Every team, like the Tigers are top of the AL, they've got big bullpen problems right now. The Dodgers just got swept to the Brewers, who are hot right now. The Cubs are hot, but everyone's pretty streaky. The Yankees are very streaky. Nobody in baseball looks to finish article. I just feel the opportunity for us to take some sort of dominance, like be a team to fear. I think Robert, I would love Bautista from the Orioles. Just get me a couple more arms, get me a big closer, get me a big bat. Robert would be perfect. And I really feel, and plus the spark that will give the fan base, it will give the players, it will show Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, Turner, that we are being serious. We are going all in for this. We do want to win. We're not going to run it back. I know David Roberts said it's just like, talk about running it back. And I like that move, by the way. Disclaimer, I'm fine with Robertson coming back. He can't play till August, but he's an upgrade.
Oh my God. That is like, that's probably going to be the best, move that I don't want to say that any team makes during this trade deadline, but it costs you nothing. It costs you nothing to get a guy that was outstanding last year for Texas.
Yeah, for the Rangers. Yeah.
Outstanding. He was one of the best relievers in the sport last year. For nothing. And he hasn't even pitched the first half. He doesn't even have a first half on him fatigue-wise.
Are you slightly worried, though, it would be a bit rusty?
Sure. But as long as he's ready by September, I'm good. Like that. That is such a fantastic grab. It also makes you feel like, why didn't you do that earlier, right? Not only sign Robertson, but obviously you need to see him showcase and things like that. But like, why didn't you, grab another reliever before you exited the offseason, right? Like, why, if you knew that was a thing, right? Why didn't you do that? But I digress, right? That is a great move, regardless of how he performs. That's a veteran leader in the bullpen, even if he's your 14th reliever on the depth chart. That's a great guy to have for a stretch run, especially when he doesn't have a first half fatigue on him. Great.
Wouldn't it be a story if
Outstanding.
40-year-old Robertson comes in to help the Phils clinch a World Series on his first? That's the story I'd love. But I need the Phils to go all in. I don't want us to trade away the likes of Miller, of Crawford, the big prospects. If we're only going half in, I want us to go all in, because what an opportunity. Because we're going to have more holes to fill in the offseason. Suarez ain't going to be there. Schwarber is a question mark. I'd love to think, and I can't think of a world without Kyle Schwarber at the Phillies right now. But it's still a possibility. We're going to have holes, even more holes to fill. Go for it now. Win the damn World Series and make it all worth it, please. And, Bryce will be another year old next year, so we'll trade JT, Kyle. I just feel this is such an opportunity for us to take the bull by the horns. Like, come on. And, all the noises are good from all the media outlets, from even the local ones. Matt Gelb. He's usually pretty conservative at trade deadline with the Phils, but he's coming out saying Dave Dombrowski is ready to make some moves. Come on. I want Robert. I want Bautista. Someone's put, what would be we'll do worst case scenario in a second. But what's Gary Potts says trade's the dream scenario. So Richard, Alex, I'll start with you, Richard. What would be your dream scenario and your realistic scenario?
I think when we talked about going and getting a centre fielder, and then absolutely, I think up and upgrading the bullpen. I'm not quite as worried about it as some. But I think if we could, maybe get a package for Bader and then Griffin Jacks together would be, an upgrade in the pen. There's talk of Suarez, but I think Bohm's, he's. I don't think we need to make a change there. And the infield's fine if they're healthy. Centre field. Infield realistic. I think that's probably realistic. I mean, dream scenario. You go out and you get, I don't know, someone crazy good, but that's just not gonna. The dream. We trade for Kyle Tucker, but it's not gonna happen.
Trade deadline, isn't it? Going from recent years.
There's talk about Class A as well. Would possibly decent.
Miller's been there. We got Adolis Garcia. Anybody?
Yeah. That if the Phillies want power, that's a guy to go to. And I feel like that's the thing. I think that they will not only grab. So the reason that Adolis Garcia makes some sense, I believe this is the case. Let me actually look before I say something silly. I think
we've got
Adolis Garcia.
Suarez at third, Mason Miller in the pen, all or nothing. Let's
go. No.
Do you think Mason Miller's still not going to have no chance? No chance?
Not only is there no chance, I don't want any part of it. I don't want any part of it. What you'd have to give up for somebody like Mason Miller when you already have Mason Miller at home and Andrew Painter, it's like it doesn't make any sense to me. I think that I thought that this was the case with Adolis Garcia, and it's not. I thought he was a pending free agent. Unfortunately, he's not. I do think that the Phillies will go out and they will grab. So the problem with the Phillies grabbing a position player that is, entrenched beyond this year. Is and to reply to Phil's Utley in the chat, Buxton's just not happening. That is never, ever, ever going to happen.
I also don't want Buxton.
There is some guy on Twitter that continuously says that Buxton's no trade clause is not an absolute full stop for trades involving him. Yeah, it is. It is. He came out and said, "I'm going to be a Minnesota Twin for life."
Do we believe that? We've heard this before, though, haven't we?
No, we haven't. Nobody's ever. Nobody comes
unless they're wrong. Unless they're wrong, but I have seen it as well. But somebody wrote some names.
Yeah, I saw Jim Thome and all these guys. Those are guys that didn't objectively say, "I want to be part of the team that I'm currently at for life." Byron Buxton came out and said, "I'm not going anywhere. I'm a Minnesota Twin for life." He shut it down completely.
I genuinely wouldn't want him.
That's not downplaying. That's not "Ooh, I'm going to boost my value and make other teams try harder." That's, "I'm not going anywhere." He's not going anywhere. And that might change in future years, but it's not changing right now. And if Byron Buxton gets traded, I will eat a shoe live on camera with a knife and fork.
You'll say it here, guys.
There is no possible way. There's no possible way at all. He would be hated in Minnesota forever. If after you say I'm a Minnesota Twin for life, and then you're like, oh, I'll waive my no trade clause.
It is the Twins though. Like
you'd get shot.
Can I just say on Buxton, 2021, 61 games, 2022, 92 games, 2023, 85 games, 2024, 102 games. Like, yes, he's played 80 so far this year, but that's a lot of track record. 2020, 39.
Yeah. To have your healthiest year at 31 years old, though, and he's made specific changes to his routine.
31 already.
He's made specific changes to his routine and to the way that he prepares and the way that he warmed up for this season in particular. I think that he has every chance to remain healthy. But he's not going anywhere. That is not happening. It's never happening.
We were talking dream scenarios though.
Yes, so. That is the dream, but it will not happen. I love what Rich said about Griffin Jax. Griffin Jax is, for me, that's the guy. Like,
so for those who don't know, where is Griffin Jax right now?
Minnesota. So Griffin Jax not only is running like a 15 K per 9 ratio at the moment, something along those lines, but the Phillies have tried to get him before and have not succeeded. But Griffin Jax is in a bit of a down year at the moment, strikes out every guy under the sun. He's absolutely filthy and would be, for me, the dream middle relief target. He's a guy that could be a setup guy for you. He's not a closer, but definitely like a fireman reliever. Feels like he'd be brilliant in a playoff scenario. He's so filthy. If you can somehow manage to pry Griffin Jax and Jhoan Duran from the Twins, that to me is hands down the move that you should be making. And it's probably going to cost you like 3 of your top 7 prospects. But to me, it's probably something you can get done without Andrew Painter. I'm not sure if you could get it done without Aiden Miller. But those are 2 guys that immediately they take your bullpen from as dreadful as the Phillies is to probably one of the best in the sport.
This is what I was going to ask, actually, because so far a lot of the targets you've mentioned doesn't give up too much. But let's say the Phillies are going to give up Miller, they're going to give up Crawford, possibly Painter. Who would you want to see in a return for the big chips? If Dave Dombrowski went all in, who would you want to see in that return?
It's got to be, if you are, the great thing about where the Phillies are right now is that they have 6 consensus top 100 prospects. And they are not going to be hanging on to all of them. Oh my God. Griffin Jax is spectacular. I could see them dealing both, particularly when you can pry them away with a really great prospect package. But the interesting thing is going to be if Jhoan Duran is out there, but there's also Felix Bautista, who I don't actually think is going to be going anywhere either. I think the Orioles have their sights set on competing. If Ryan Helsley is out there, there are going to be rental guys that you can acquire for, cheaper than what Jhoan Duran would cost you. But if you can package those 2 guys together and tantalize the Twins with a package led by Aiden Miller, for Miller, Mick Abel, and Eduardo Taillé, right? And then a couple other flyers like a Hendry Mendez or somebody like that. If you can have 2 of the best relievers in the sport for a package like that, and immediately the farm system for the Twins just skyrockets. And we'll talk about Brent Rooker because I've had a lot of people ask me about Brent Rooker. But if you can acquire 2 of the better bullpen arms in the sport, that's the dream deadline scenario, right? Yeah. For me,
but I need a bat to go with it. We have to then have.
Sure, I think Robert Jr. Luis Robert Jr. The trade that I've cooked up in my mind is Luis Robert Jr. for Johan Rojas and somebody like Illyrio Farabus, who is he's a guy that just got promoted to Single A. Had great underlying data, just like, the typical flyer type, probably a top 20 system prospect, but he's not some huge name, right? That's the trade I had cooked up in my brain. And the only reason that you attach Farabus is because I think the demand for Luis Robert Jr. would be pretty high. I do. So I think that is the trade that I've cooked in my brain. But I think my dream deadline would be Robert Jr., Duran and Jax, and then somebody like, and this is going to sound ridiculous coming out of my mouth, but somebody like Ahmed Rosario from the Nationals. Who hits lefties unbelievably well and has throughout his entire career. And then that gives you a full postseason bullpen outside of Alvarado, which, by the way, the Phillies should ride Jose Alvarado as soon as he gets back. He should be pitching in every game.
Yeah,
they should be riding that man.
Absolutely.
Just ride that man into the sunset. But then you have a postseason bullpen that includes, Duran, Jax, David Robertson, already Matt Strahm and Orion Kerkering. All of a sudden, Orion Kerkering goes from your best reliever to your fourth best reliever, which is so exciting. And then you've got Matt Strahm, you've got Tanner Banks, who's been great.
What about Robert? Daniel Robert?
He's been awesome. I just put out a tweet about him, Seth Johnson, and Max Lazar have been great.
Yeah, Max Lazar's actually been really impressive.
They've been really good. Max Lazar, Tanner Banks has been awesome. Tanner Banks has been great.
But
it's crazy.
Do you trust these guys going into a postseason?
Banks, I do.
Postseason game.
Robert, Lazar, and Seth Johnson should be in AAA. That is the long and short of it. Is when rosters expand in September, then get some guys back into the mix. But nobody should be. The Phillies have, with the addition of David Robertson, 5 guys that I'm comfortable saying, okay, they should be on the postseason roster. And that does include Jordan Romano, who I'm not even entirely sure about. I just feel like in the postseason, he can take a big step up stuff-wise.
Stop it. Can you imagine that turnaround?
I can. That is a guy that he is adrenaline based. That guy loves that's the frustrating thing about Phillies fans, is that I feel like nobody watched him when he was in Toronto. That guy loved the moment. He was so electric for Toronto. And I could really see when it's really life or death, he could really take a step up. I really do believe that.
Do you think he'll be there by the postseason?
Yes. I do not think they will get rid of him. Joe Ross, I think he's got one foot out the door. As far as, Taijuan Walker goes, that's the only reason that I don't have the Phillies acquiring 3 relievers at the deadline now, right? Because they need a spot for Taijuan. They just need a spot for him because he's not going anywhere. He's going to be their long reliever. He'll be their 6th starter. He'll be just that guy, and that's just what he's going to be. But I really think that the Phillies are well positioned to land controllable, relatively, cheap monetarily, really seasoned Major League Baseball players here. And it feels like this is the perfect time to cash in some of your prospect chips. Regardless of how much I love prospects and regardless of how much, there's a time and a place. There's a time and a place, and this is the time, this is the place. You cash your chips in now. Anybody that's not Andrew Painter should be on the table. I would hate to see them trade Aiden Miller, but that might just be what you have to do to get what you're looking to get.
I'm already accepting that Miller will more likely than not be a Phil come the 1st of August.
We'll see.
But then
I hope that's not the case.
If we win a World Series.
But at the same time,
right?
too, the Phillies just had what I have on paper as one of the best drafts they've had in the last half decade, as a full culmination. So the farm system is not necessarily it just got a lot deeper. It's certainly still, depending on how many, prospects they do part with from the top of the system, the farm system's still going to be in pretty decent shape, because of the depth that they just added. But I don't know. We'll see.
It's an interesting one.
I just want to quickly on the Griffin Jax thing, on the ERA. I couldn't agree more. Everyone knows how much I hate ERA as a reliever stat. Go look at his advanced stats. This guy is insane. He's absolutely insane.
He's filthy.
I have this similar. This is from the They're Not From Philly podcast. Big up to the fellow Brits. Is Dave Dombrowski's job safe if he doesn't get this trade deadline correct? I'm sort of leaning now. This is a big trade deadline for Dave Dombrowski because I do feel he has to get this right. Lazard will be good for the bullpen and the playoffs. I agree. Hopefully similar success to what Ranger had in the World Series run. I agree with that, Lazardo. But is Dave Dombrowski's job? I think his job is safe, but there's going to be eyes on Dave Dombrowski this trade deadline. And if he doesn't get it right and it doesn't go the way that we all want it to go, are we starting to ask questions about Dombrowski?
He's a Hall of Fame executive. I mean, he's already stated
But
that
that's,
this is probably
the past, though, right? Like we're talking now. Like,
but he's also already kind of stated that he's like, this is his last team. Like it was either going to be this or the Dallas expansion, and he chose this, and he's probably done after the Phillies. But I know that people are going to point to so many of these failed free agent signings or of these fringe deals and things like that, and they're going to say, what has he done well? From a margins perspective, he's been spectacular. He really has been, and it's really frustrating to, see people only focus on some of the bigger picture things. Obviously, it sucks that the Phillies have not won a championship, but he also got the Phillies to the point that they were in 2022, where they almost streaked to a championship.
True, but I suppose it's down to what you measure success as well, isn't it? Everyone has their different ideas and targets. Like, I want to ring. I want us to win the World Series so badly.
Of course,
but I don't know. For me, I don't know. I don't know where I am with Dombrowski tomorrow. Again, let's see what happens this year with the deadline. Let's just see. For me, the jury's out until the season's done, and we look back at this. And of course, if we extend Kyle, I think we have to extend Kyle. Give him what just give him the money. He wants to be here.
He's not going anywhere.
I was a bit disturbed by the Reds talk, which we could play for your hometown, but I hope that's just I don't know.
He's not going anywhere. He's not.
He's
not.
But
there's no way.
Dombrowski chat comes at the end of the season. I think this deadline's massive. Let's play this season out, then see where we are. Richard, you got some quick fire questions for Alex.
Well, just for the both of you, really, because we were talking about who you'd want. So I've got a couple of names that I've just seen about. We don't have to go into major detail on them. Just maybe like a quick yes or no whenever I can find the names again. I do have them somewhere.
Somebody did ask about Brent Rooker, and I just have to say before we get into that, where is he playing?
But it's like Suarez as well, isn't it?
Where?
I love him, but where?
Like where? Where? Possibly where? Because if you're bringing in Brent Rooker to play, I don't know, left field, and then you have Brandon Marsh in center, you kidding me? You'd lose every game. But anyway, go ahead.
Right, let's do some names. Just again, I've not looked into all of these. Just names that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
Emmanuel Clase.
Yeah,
sure. He's
I feel I'm going to try and do a very short answer. Alex is going to have to be 5 minutes with everyone.
He's great, but he's become much more hittable as the years have gone on, and he was an outlier guy to begin with. Nobody throws 100-mile-an-hour cutters, right? It seems like he's getting figured out. It's just my thing, and it feels like the nuance is wearing off, and that I don't like trading with the Cleveland Guardians. I don't. They always get it right. Like they got it right with not necessarily got it right with Francisco Lindor, but there was no way they were going to be able to retain him, right? They ended up flipping Andres Jimenez into this, somehow they traded him to the Blue Jays. I just don't like trading. I don't like trading with the Guardians. They're like what the Rays used to be. I'm afraid of them.
I'd have Class A.
I would take him.
A team option, doesn't he?
No, he is under control for 4 years.
Right, next quick fire player.
Yeah, sorry.
Pete Fairbanks is on here from the Rays.
Why would they sell him?
Yeah. Ryan Helsley, I've seen him come up in genuine.
That would be the dream. I think he's the best in the biz right now.
Helsley fits the Phil's profile perfectly. I would take him in a heartbeat.
He is the best. He has had the most sustained success of any reliever that is available at the trade deadline. He is so good. He's so unhittable. Love him. That would be
David Bednar.
Sure. It would definitely not be my preferred, but sure.
Again, let's go to Cal Finnegan. He's had a rough couple of games.
No, Finnegan last year would have been ideal. Not this year.
Who else have we got? Cedric Mullins
Oh,
for center field.
How Rich?
Cedric
How
Mullins.
many?
This is just a
No.
list of.
I want you to guess how many. I don't know how to say this. Negative defensive run save do you think Cedric Mullins has on the year?
Yeah, I imagine not good.
How many?
No,
I just wrote
My
about
negative run saves.
negative defensive run saved.
12?
16
Wow. Okay.
in center field.
That's a no there. And then Tommy Pham for some reason is on here. I don't know why the Pirates would be, or why we'd want him. Anyway, we'll go with a realistic one because I know you want to talk about it. Brent Rooker.
It just doesn't make any sense. Where would he play? I love it.
Yeah.
I love the player.
He's a DH. He's played like what, five?
He is a right.
5 games in left field this year, I think.
He's great, but where would he play?
I don't want a Rooker.
Yeah.
I don't want.
And then players you'd be happy to give up potentially. Obviously, Painter.
No, you can't. He, in and of himself, he is a bullpen upgrade. You can't.
That's a. Oh, go on, Dave.
Depends who for me. It's all or nothing.
Obviously, it depends who you for, but I'm like a realistic trade that you wouldn't think was a fleece. Obviously, if they went, you can have Shohei for Painter, obviously every day of the week, but that's not going to happen. So, like in a realistic trade scenario,
anyone but Painter. Everybody else will be.
Everybody else, yeah, you're happy to. Even Miller.
Yep.
Yeah, Miller. Yeah.
There's no point going through everyone else then.
I think it is so asinine to think that whoever you're acquiring for Andrew Painter, that Andrew Painter can't be better than the player you're acquiring. It's crazy to me. It is crazy to me. And the amount of people that are just willing to look at the fact that he has not dominated AAA after not pitching for 18 months is, it makes me want to put a hole in a wall. It really does.
Alex. Don't do it.
Oh, it does, Dave. It makes me want to put a hole in the wall.
Look, we've got 10 days still. I need it now. I need to trade.
And just quickly, a follow-up on Painter. Obviously, there was talk earlier in the year about him being potentially an option in the bullpen or even starting later in the year. Do we think that's still a possibility, or do we think he just needs more time in AAA?
Stunned, personally. Do you reckon? I'd be.
You'd be stunned if he got called up.
If he comes up this year now. Do we still think that's a? I don't know. Unless he has an incredible August, I don't.
He'll be up. He'll be up.
Do you really?
I think so, and I think that the number one thing that is so important to remember with him is when he is rehabbing in the minor leagues, he's working on things. He's working on things to be ready for when he does get called up. He's going to get called up at some point
this season,
primarily because they're going to want him as an option he needs to be called up before September 1st. Because if he's not called up before September 1st, he's not a playoff option. And they want him to be a playoff option. And the fact of the matter is, when you go into the playoffs, you need 3 starting pitchers. Your bullpen is going to expand by the factor of and I know we've talked about this on the pod before, but two of Ranger Suarez, Jesus Luzardo, and Chris Sanchez, alongside Andrew Painter, and if Mick Abel is still here, Mick Abel as well. All of a sudden, there's not a single arm in your bullpen as long as they fill it out the way that I expect them to. Because Taijuan Walker's not making the playoff roster. Jordan Romano might not make the playoff roster, right? They are going to need other options. And Andrew Painter is a top 10 prospect in all of the sport.
So do you see now August, they're going to start ramping Painter up to see, look, where is he? If that's the case, he's got a month now to sort of
He's going to. I mean, he's already ramped up. He's already pitching multiple innings. He's fine.
But I mean, we need to see more. I don't know. From what I've seen, I don't know.
It's just the command. That's the issue. They are trying to work out all of his pitches, and they're trying to introduce everything slowly. So he's primarily fastball, cutter, slider right now. If he were to go into the playoffs and just throw, let's say, fastball, slider, and then he's in a relief capacity, so his stuff is going to see a huge uptick. it's a no-brainer. He's going to be great. And there's a huge advantage to having a guy that hasn't pitched much in the major leagues, and they only have minor league data on him in a playoff scenario. So obviously it's very nuanced, and he has to show that he's ready, but he's also working on things right now. He's not trying to dominate AAA lineups. He's trying to reintroduce his pitches, make sure that his command is, working out for him. Because that's, at the end of the day, that's what he's getting burned by, is his command.
We will park the trade for now. We got 10 days to go. I need it now. I need the deadline now. Quickly look ahead to a big week for the Phils. Red Sox, who are sort of on that brink of do they sellers or buyers? They're in that very middle right now, where this next 2 weeks will be big for them. Yankees and after Buehler versus Wheeler, Fitz versus Sanchez, Giolito versus Luzardo. That's an interesting matchup. We should beat the Angels. We didn't. But we need a bounce back. We need a bounce back series. Really do. We should win this game tonight against Buehler.
I'd be amazed if we didn't win tonight. Genuinely. I know people go, you can't say that, you're going to jinx it. No, there's Zach Wheeler. He is incredible this year. I mean, he's always incredible, but this year, wow. He's unhittable, unless you're Austin Hayes. But other than that...
yeah.
That didn't happen.
Baseball. I don't know much about Fitz, to be honest. I know Giolito is in my fantasy team. I like
great
Giolito.
name.
He's got the best Dick Fitz.
Dick Fitz.
Best name in baseball. It's a good one. He's
so
good.
Many places we can go with that, but yeah,
he's good.
Sanchez. There's a good matchup tomorrow night. Fitz versus Sanchez. I'm looking forward to that. Giolito has been on a bit of a resurgence, so I can tell you inside one of my best fantasy pitchers right now. Luzardo, again, flip of a coin. Who knows what you're going to get with Luzardo for that game 3? Confident, guys. Series win, bounce back.
Always confident. Always confident, Dave.
They are the Red Sox before Alex Bregman got back.
Of course,
unfortunately, but they were pretty vulnerable to left-handed pitching. So I hope two lefties against them will do well. Unfortunately, that is kind of why I wish the Red Sox were selling, because they have my favorite trade target on their roster, who is Rob Refsnyder, who we will see and who will deliver some pain in this series against those lefties.
About Rob Redfider, but I didn't think he would be another great.
Did we get one for Rob Refsnyder? I don't think so.
Yeah, we did.
I wish.
Hang on. Someone definitely did.
Well, it doesn't matter. The Red Sox are going to buy. So
yes, Jerome would cost too much. I would like Rob Refsnyder to platoon with Marsh.
I wish. Well, platoon with Marsh in left field. Sure. That would be the dream. But it's not
platoon with Marsh, I presume, in left field with Robert playing center.
Luckily, Rob Refsnyder is a free agent next year. Believe me, I've been tracking it for years. So I'm excited for him to be a Philly in 2026. He is that guy is a killer of left-handed pitching.
And I asked because I've had him on my fantasy team most of the year now again, and he's been excellent.
I love how our evaluation of players depends so much on their fantasy ability.
Dave's fantasy team.
It does.
Well, mine as well, because I'm a huge Addison Barger fan, because he's doing bits for me.
My knowledge outside the Phillies is pretty limited. I go off my fantasy players, and Bautista for the Orioles has been clutch. Orioles are definitely going to be sellers.
Yeah.
Do you see us making a move for him?
So he's under control again for 2.5 more years. So they're selling now, but they're not. They want to compete next year.
So yeah. They're not okay. So. There's no UK friendly games for Red Sox series. Boo. However, Yankees Saturday and Sunday are both UK friendly on very early. And of course, we have the meet at Passion Waterloo from 5 o'clock. Home run derby competition, the batting cages. Win a Phillies jersey. We've also got lots of other Phillies swag to give away on the evening as well, and hopefully see the Phillies beat the Red Sox. Guys, that's pretty much a wrap. I feel better. I feel better for talking now. I feel like I'm I'm over the Angels.
I just want to say, on the confidence thing, like who's actually good? Like I know we love to complain about the Phillies, but which team is actually good at the minute? Like there was a great post by Matt Winkelman the other day. Basically, like every fan base thinks their team is bad and the trade market sucks.
Yep.
And the fact that the Phillies are one of the best 5 teams in baseball, and there are at least 5 players on the roster who shouldn't be in the majors, are both true statements.
Yep.
Like the Dodgers keep losing. The Jays are hot, but it's the Jays. Like the Cubs, we've beaten the Cubs. Tigers are playing well, and then the Astros are top of the West. Like, yeah, exactly. Who's good? Who do you look at and go, they are, the best? Like, exactly. We watch the Phillies every week, and it's like, every day. And it's
I saw somebody say today that there's a good chance that the Brewers are one of the best, or are the best team in baseball right now. And I was like, I was ready to throw my keyboard at the wall. Are you kidding me? They are a team that is manufactured for the regular season. They play great defense. They pitch incredibly well. And then they are first round exits every year because they don't have any really substantially excellent players outside of like a Christian Yelich, outside of a Contreras. Like the team isn't good. They're just assembled really well to win as many regular season games as they can. But it's not a good club. And it's why so many people love to complain about their own team, but
we do.
The Phillies roster, it's the same drum that we've been beating since coming out of the offseason. And whenever the Phillies struggle, people are just like, "Yep, another wasted year." The team is obviously good. Like inconsistency is bound to happen over 162 games.
And then that's exactly what people said about the Dodgers for years until they finally won.
Like every year, watched the sport.
Yeah, every year the Dodgers are wasting all their talent, and then they win last year, and suddenly it's they're by far the best team there is. Like they're
ridiculous.
I'm confident. If you can't tell,
you have every reason to be.
This is why I need a trade deadline. I need to see what we do. I'm sort of, I don't know where I am with the Phils right now. I need to see what Dombrowski's got up his sleeve. I need to see the additions. I need to see how we're set going into August and September. I don't know what to feel right now. I just need a deadline here. I need to know where we're going, and then I can look ahead.
John, I saw a hilarious suggestion that we should trade for Cody Clemens with the Twins. Hilarious.
As a quick one. Clemens, should we have let him go?
No, yes.
Where would he be playing?
Yes is the answer.
Where would he be playing? I don't understand people.
It's just a regular social media conception I see.
But he's also
Clemens go.
He's been given the opportunity to play on the Twins because they had room, and he also kind of fought his way into a spot. And he's been playing exceptionally. If you think that this is something that he'll keep up over an extended period of time, you're effing bananas. You're bananas. He's been great, but it's like Edmundo Sosa was spectacular when Trey Turner was out, 2 years ago. Did he starting every day? He got
even the start of this year.
Even
the start of this year, Sosa was amazing. But
yeah, I agree. I'm
gonna kill the internet. Love Cody. Love the guy. Love him. Where was he playing? Like,
I feel like this needs to be a new segment. Like every time we find the topic, they'll get Alex as riled up as possible.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Start keeping it close. Like what he's really angry about on Twitter, and we'll just bring it up as a great idea.
I never get to vent on Twitter because I'm too mature. So I save it for here. But Lord,
I'll keep an extra eye on your newsletter. I always read anyway. It's great.
I really wish I was a more vindictive person. Sometimes I would start bookmarking people's stuff, and every time I was right, I'd spin a freaking grogger on. I don't know. It just makes me insane. But that's why I love coming here, and I appreciate you guys for being my therapists. Your checks,
I feel great.
Your checks are in the mail.
It is. I feel.
I can't wait for the Twins to trade Byron Buxton now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I got my night. My night.
He got some music already.
Hold on. Let me get a shoe.
Yeah. Which shoe is it going to be, Alex?
I'll eat this particular shoe.
Or he has to do a shoey of some sort as well. We.
Oh, I will. If you think that I wouldn't.
This is high quality content.
Yeah.
Alex finds a shoe that he's going to eat when
This
the Twins
very
play
shoe.
Boston.
Not watching and
That's a
listening
big
live.
shoe as well.
They're not even laced. I will eat this particular shoe if Byron
For those
Buxton
who are not
gets traded.
watching, Alex is holding up a Nike. What is it?
It's a Jordan 1, and I will eat it if Byron Buxton is traded at the trade deadline.
You heard it here, guys. Exclusive. Yeah, WIP can have their big Jack Fritz versus DeCamera and competitions. We got Alex Carr eating his shoe.
Joe
Like,
Giglio has nothing on me.
guys, thank you for watching. If you've been listening on the podcast, thank you for listening. If you've liked what you've seen and listened to, then subscribe, like, and share. We really appreciate it. I just want to say...
Also, sign up to Alex's mailing list. Like, it's really good.
yes.
It's genuinely really good.
Thank you guys. Yeah,
Plug it,
on
Alex, plug
Substack.
it.
Can we fix it on Substack? Fix with a PH. I am loving doing it. It's been a blast. I'm really, really, really enjoying it, and I finally get to do what I want to do and not have anybody tell me what I have to do, and I don't get censored, and it's awesome.
Love that. Love that, Alex. I love it. And Richard, you know, part of the PSI, you've got something to plug?
Yeah, UK Flyers started up. Obviously, we just had the NHL draft not too long ago. It's still going to be a bit of a rough season for the Flyers, but you know, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Portomato was an absolutely excellent choice. It sounds like he's going to Michigan State this year, so we probably won't see him much in the Flyers. But the future's definitely bright. We've got a lot of young talent.
This is not on Twitter, though, is it? This is just
mainly
and-
Instagram. There is a Blue Sky account as well, but mainly Instagram. I try and stay off Twitter when I can.
This is going out live to predominantly Twitter. You know that, right?
Yeah, well,
No, I agree, mate.
it's on Instagram at UK Flyers.
There you go.
So we'll be doing lots of stuff like watch-alongs, etc. When the season gets started. A bit harder for hockey with the game times, but the future's bright for sure.
Future's orange. That's it. That's an old commercial plug.
Yeah, new era of orange.
Throw back to the 90s. I just want to say as well, thoughts, prayers, and condolences to Kim Sparks and her family and friends who she sadly passed. Big Phillies fan. She passed yesterday. She was one of the OG UK Phillies Facebook members back in 2017. I met her a couple of times. Die hard as they come Phillies fan, an incredible woman who sadly passed yesterday. So thoughts and prayers with Kim Sparks' friends, family, and loved ones. We'll be back next week. Let's do it again. Let's do it again next week. For everyone who's contributed, asked questions, given us their opinions, thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun. It's good to be back.
I like the live format as well.
I like it. I like people getting involved on the side as well. Love that. And it's been good. It's been good fun. Alex has vented. We all feel better. We're going to beat the Red Sox. We're going to go to Yankee Stadium. We're going to win that series. And this time next week, we are going to be riding high, and the Mets will be falling behind in our mirrors.
And Byron Buxton will be on the new team.
Yeah. Get it ready. From me, Dave Shaw, it is Ring the Bell. From Richard.
Ring the bell.
Alex.
Ring the bell.